I want to talk to you about how we treat anxiety and depression naturally. Now, anyone who searches for this or is on the search for this has usually already done the traditional methods, and they're finding that those traditional methods are not for them and are not working. Now, the issue with traditional methods, or I'm going to call it modern medicine, is that a lot of what we're doing with medication, psychiatry, psychology, and I do know some amazing people in those fields, it's very new. Okay, so we're looking at 50 to 100 years worth of of research versus thousands of years of techniques that have been proven to work for so many generations before us. And obviously, we're also living in a completely different world now. Everything is faster, everything is amped up, everything is on steroids in terms of stress and the amount of sensory processing that we have to do on a daily basis to just take in the world around us, including technology and the way that we work now in more of an industrial age. And so there's so many issues that I have with modern medicine and treatment. And for me personally, it didn't work. And for literally thousands of my clients, it doesn't work. And the reason for that is medication is looking at, it being a magic bullet. And if only it was that simple, we'd all be taking something. And there is no such thing. So I want to get rid of that. Like, medication is not a cure. It's to give you relief. And if it is helpful in giving you relief in the short term, great. But that doesn't mean we still have to get to the bottom of what's actually going on, because I'm here. I don't know about you, but I'm here to cure this for good, not to slap a Band-Aid on it. And, if we keep putting Band-Aids over the issues in our life, they're going to fester at some point, rather than pulling back and going, hey, hang on a minute. Like, there are literally remedies and other ways of doing this that have been proven to work for so many different cultures and generations before us for thousands of years, that have thousands and thousands of years of research put into them. So that's what I want to talk about today, because for me, healing myself and then going so deeply into natural treatment and healing in a very profound way, I want to share that with you today. And I want to share with you my passion around natural treatment, because I believe it is the way forward. And for sure, if you've been searching different natural ways, then, the system of just boring or uninspiring therapy and medication is probably not working for you. So through my journey of healing myself and coming into this industry, before that, there was a big reality slap for me where I was living very much outside of respect for my body, very much outside of my value system, and just kind of climbing the ladder. So my reality slap took me into a little Chinese tea shop one day. And I was so agoraphobic at the time, I actually couldn't leave my house. And I was with a friend, and she forced me out of the house. And we went to, she was like, let's go for a coffee. I couldn't have coffee because it would send my anxiety through the roof. And this is many, many years ago, when there was a lot of stigma still around mental health. And I believe that there still is, but there wasn't really a lot of options. It was GP, see a psychologist, get a label, take a medication. That, for me, it wasn't for me. It was very uninspiring, and it didn't work. That was, the worst part, is that it actually just didn't work. So I want to walk you through 6 steps, actually 7 steps, around how we treat naturally, based on the journey that I took, which was very long, very drawn out, but also based on doing this many, many thousands of times in a retreat environment. It's very different in a retreat environment. You're not just sitting across a screen from me. You're not just walking into a therapist session and then walking out. In a retreat environment, we as a team get to watch physically, mentally, emotionally, energetically what's going on with many, many different people with anxiety and depression that's showing up in many different ways, with many different causes. But what I'm going to share with you works because I've seen it work, and I've seen it work very quickly. And there's this myth around natural treatment that it's going to take longer, and that's not at all true. If you combine a couple of approaches together and do them all at once, which is what my program is for and what I do, because I don't muck around with this. And so I want to get into 7 steps based on how that journey started walking into that little tea shop. So the first thing that was, and I truly believe the universe just dropped this in front of me at the time because I was desperate. I could not live with that level of anxiety and panic attacks and depression anymore. I was looking for answers. And this was the first real answer that I got where it felt right for me. So this first trip into a tea shop, I'm going to talk about the first step being you have to know the cause. So what this little Chinese man did very quickly was pinpointed a few things with my physical health and my lifestyle and what I was eating and drinking very, very quickly in under 15 minutes. And this is what I mean about working with someone who really knows their craft and knows the human body and mind very well. There's a couple of things that he said to me that just made complete sense. And they were very simple, but they were very profound, and they were a very big part of shifting into natural healing. It's so profound, in fact, I signed up to study Chinese herbal medicine and naturopathy very quickly after this conversation, because the herbs that he gave me, we're going to get into herbal medicine in a minute, it gave me my life back. It gave me this ability to actually physically function, and I was not physically functioning. So there's a couple of things that he pointed out very quickly: the way I was working, the hours that I was doing, lack of water, these kind of very simple things that all put them all together had me in a mess. So the first thing is know the cause. He was actually, these 3 to 4 things that he told me were the direct cause, and no one had said that to me. No one had actually asked me those questions. And so I have another video on figuring out the cause, and I have a quiz to help you figure out the cause. And if you want to work with someone who's going to give you very quick answers, then obviously book a call with me. That call is not for you to just get answers and walk away. That call is for us to work together. It's not a free diagnosis. But if you work with me, I will give you answers. So the first thing is you have to know the cause, because it is unique and different for every person. And it has to be holistic. Okay. So if you want to go down the pathway of natural treatment, you need someone who's going to look at every area all at once. You don't need 4 different therapists to do that for you. It's seeking out either me or someone who does that and can do it very quickly and very efficiently and give you answers about what your unique cause is. Okay, because until you can understand the cause, you can't heal, and you'll be doing things and taking things that are not right for you. And this is why self-help with anxiety can be a little bit dangerous, or depression, because you could be trying things that you just don't need, and it will take you a lot of time and cost you a lot of money. So the first thing is you have to know the cause. Second thing is herbal remedies. I have a kit on this site. Go to shop. Go to 7-day relief kit. It's specifically designed to heal the symptoms, the day-to-day symptoms that you're experiencing, to get them under control, but it's also designed to do a stress hormone and neurotransmitter balance over time. So it's going to get you relief. So herbal remedies, if you work with me, your kit is specific, but this kit across the board, I have tried it hundreds of times, and every time, within 7 days, it gets you to a point where you can sleep, where you can function. And like I said, these remedies have been researched. When I did, studied herbal medicine, I was floored at the amount of research that has gone into, before we had labs, of trying and testing what Mother Nature is already giving us and what is available to us. And they work. So there's a couple of things with herbal medicine. Obviously you don't want to self-medicate. I want to say that straight away. use the kit that I have there because it's been proven to work. Obviously, you always need to check with your own health professional if it's going to work alongside with anything else that you're taking. But with herbal medicine, we need to get you relief, okay? So the first thing you need to do is have herbs, preferably herbs and not supplements. So there are supplements in my kit, but they're there for a reason. And supplements are still man-made, okay? So if man didn't make it, we're not touching it. That's the general rule, but these supplements are more food-based supplements and they're very quality. So we want relief. That's the first thing. Like, you have to get relief from the symptoms moment by moment when the anxiety is rising, when the panic is rising, because if you're at this point, your neurotransmitters and your stress hormones are at a point where we need to get them down, okay? We need to get them under control so that you can function. But there might be other issues with toxicity. There might be other issues with immunity. There might be other issues with hormones that are driving the problem. So the second step is then to actually look at long-term balancing, and that really does need to be unique. The kit that I have for you there is going to get your symptoms under control and get your nervous system support, like a big massage for your nervous system, so that we can get you the calm that you need so that you can function on a daily basis and you can get your energy back. But in terms of what's really driving the issue, and this is what I mean about what is the cause, like something that Chinese medicine herbalist pointed out for me by just looking at my eyes and looking in my mouth at my tongue, is that I had fairly major kidney issues that I wasn't aware of that was really driving the issue. And so once I rectified that, then I had, permanent physical relief. So in terms of herbal remedies, there's the immediate relief and then there's long-term balancing, okay? And your whole system works like, the body clock is incredible. Inside the program, I go into this with you. I show you, you need to understand this. Like, you're literally physically walking around in a human body that most people don't know anything about. We have a beautiful natural body clock. And so we use herbs that are going to pull that back into balance. We have our glandular system, which is essentially our endocrine system, our hormones. And so we look at where is the switch off and we look at balancing that. We look at organs and blood and cellular health, because that could be the issue. So we look at balancing that. So you'll find in my program with the diet and the cleanse that I give you, the diet and the herbs, I go through this with you because I believe that it should be taught in school. Like, we need to understand the physical body that we're living in if we want to be able to heal it. And like I said before, Mother Nature has given us this smorgasbord and this ability. Like, we are living in a time where we have so much access to all of these amazing medicines from all around the world, and they're there. And it's just, it's a matter of, if you've been to a naturopath or a nutritionist before and they're just kind of throwing supplements at you, you walk out with a $400 bill for supplements, and that's just like their kind of go-to, here's what I give you, rather than it being specific. So the relief kit I give you, it is my go-to to get your symptoms under control. But herbal remedies for the long term and the diet that you're using for the long term, they have to work together, because you can take as many supplements as you like, but if you're not absorbing them, there's no point. You might as well flush that money down the toilet. So we kind of go gardening. So the second thing is to go gardening, is to watch what goes in your mouth. I go into this in a lot of detail in my program so you get it. So you understand why preservatives can be causing anxiety, why we have to drink good quality water and a certain amount of it, what we use to build energy and immunity, what we use to calm and to go into rest and digest, how we build digestion, so once we understand all of this, and we understand that we could be dealing with a hormone balance that was caused by a contraceptive pill that we were on when we were a teenager and we weren't aware. Like, there's all of these different issues that can be nutted out very quickly. And when you do my relief kit, I give you a discount on doing an intensive wellness assessment with me and a health plan. So jump in there, because it's quite a discount, and get a proper long-term health plan. No guesswork, No fluffing around, just getting, because when we go gardening, we have to weed. We have to take out what the problem is first. Then we have to plant seeds, and then we have to grow. We have to water the garden. We have to tend to the garden. And so combining herbal remedies with diet or supplementation with diet, for me, is the only way to go. If you're doing one without the other, it's not as powerful. So if we want rapid healing, we want to cure the issue for good, I believe that it has to be done once, and it has to be done properly, and you have to be willing to take action and follow that. But for me, it was a no-brainer to eat, and still is, a certain way, and, you know, take certain herbs and supplements every day. If I never have to have anxiety and depression again, who cares? You know, so herbal remedies. Inside the kit, I'm not going to list them here. Inside the kit, the 7-day relief kit, I go into detail about what we use and why, and when to take them and why, how you get immediate relief when you're feeling things rising, what we're taking on a daily basis to support the nervous system, and what we do for long-term balancing. Diet, I give you a mini diet in the 7-day relief kit so that you can get in there and give your body the support that it needs. But my Alive Diet and Cleanse, which is very well known for healing gut health issues, specifically in relation to anxiety and depression. That's what it was built for. It's tried and tested, and it works. I have had people that have been depressed or anxious since birth do that program, and 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, I get an email and they're like, I just woke up happy for no good reason for the first time in my life. Like, they have never actually had that serotonin natural boost of contentment and joy, and they've never felt it because there was always a gut or a hormone or a neurotransmitter issue. And that the diet, I cannot tell you, it heals those issues. It also gets rid of a lot of the other issues that are driving the problem, including toxicity, including hormone balances, and the headaches, and all of the niggling health issues there, and the aches in the body, and the autoimmune issues, and all of the issues that we can be walking around with and deal with for years and not really question, why is this happening? So the diet looks at all of those issues, and it's inside the program if you really want to run at it intensively. For me, I live by it. I would never remove it. And why would I? So those two things. First thing, know the cause. Second, herbal remedies. Get relief first, and then a long-term plan. And the third thing is watch what goes in your mouth and follow my diet to a T. And you will not have an issue if you consistently follow that diet. And I get clients come back to me after 2 or 3 years and they've let go of these 7 things. Not necessarily all of them at once. They might have a few things in, but they've started to, I let go of the diet about a year ago. Are you taking any herbs? No, I've stopped taking those. Are you doing that? No, I've stopped doing that. And then they're wondering why they're back in. So this is not a magic bullet. This is almost a lifestyle that I don't have an issue, living, because I would rather cut my arm off than go back to how I felt all those years ago. So the third thing I want to talk about is self-compassion and building a relationship with yourself. So we as humans are incredibly hard on ourselves, okay? So incredibly hard on ourselves. We are our own worst enemy. And when you understand, and this is in another video, how the human mind actually works, it's geared for us to just survive. The human mind is like a stay safe, fear machine, okay? And that is normal. That is completely and utterly normal. So when we learn, and we've never been taught at school, to actually deal with our mind and our thoughts, and to deal with our emotions, and to build this relationship with ourselves that is unbreakable and built on kindness and compassion, which is not the normal human response, and to have tools to work around that, which I'm going to talk about in a minute, your entire life changes, because you start to build your own your own self-worth and your own ability to, you become your own rock, and you become resilient, you become internally strong. and you become connected, and the relationship that you build with yourself when built on kindness and compassion can never be taken away by anything or anybody else. So it will not matter what life throws at you. It will not matter what other people say to you, because you have taken the time. And I believe this is so crucially important, because it is feeding the physical issues, that we learn to build this relationship of self-kindness and compassion, and to take the punching gloves off and to go, hey, I'm just going to step back. I'm going to check in with me, and I'm going to build the tools that I need to take care of me first, through kindness, through compassion, through becoming your own best friend, so that no matter what happens, you've always got that relationship. And I was thinking about this today with myself, and I'm so grateful that I've taken the time to do that, because it doesn't matter what happens in my life. I know I've got my back. I know I've got me. So the next thing I want to talk about is inner bliss. So with mindfulness, with meditation, with breath work, and with yoga. So those are the tools that I use to build inner bliss. And those are the tools that I have used to build a relationship with myself. Now, they all sound really simple, and you've probably read it, you've probably Googled it, you've probably, therapists have told you about it. But I did a deep dive into those. I did a 2-year training, and I will never let them go. If you want to deal with anxiety and depression, you'll use little bits when you need them. If you want to cure it for good, you will have a practice in your life on a daily basis. And I do this with you in the relief kit. We have a 20-20-20 rule. And that 20-20-20 rule explains to you physically, mentally, and emotionally what you need to have on a daily basis in your life to be able to cure this for good, to be able to, use mindfulness techniques and really use them. Like, you can understand the concept of mindfulness, and then actually doing it is a totally different thing. Using the mindfulness tools for how you rework your mind. So you stop buying into those negative thoughts and those destructive, fearful thoughts of the mind that says we just have to survive. So show up this way, do this, don't say that, look a certain way, and the constant self-battery that comes with that. Mindfulness is so much more than just trying to get present. And it really is a gift. It's very simple, but it's extremely powerful. And because it's so simple, people can actually miss how it truly works. Meditation wasn't for me, and I still struggle with it somewhat. But that doesn't mean that we can't find practices of meditation. So for me, really deep relaxation and breath work is more for me. So there's ways in the program which I teach you to find what you love. Find a practice that works for you, but to have a practice. Yoga, I will never let go of it. And when I do, I regret it. So it is a consistent anchor in my life, and has helped me build a deeply profound relationship with myself. And the way in my program that I teach you about yoga, meditation, mindfulness, breath work, deep relaxation, it's so life-changing for my clients and my students that many of them are now mindfulness teachers, breathwork teachers, yoga teachers. A large percentage have gone down that pathway because it has been so life-changing for them. The next thing is purpose. The next thing is looking at how you've set your life up and whether you're living with your purpose. I believe that each and every one of us, if we want to offset anxiety and depression, if you were living using your genius and power, showing up authentically as yourself in the world, it is not possible to feel severely anxious or depressed, even if your genetics say that you should be. And so many people let go. People don't dream anymore. They're completely letting go of their dreams because they're hooked into doing what the system says, or doing what their family says, or doing what other people want. And so the next 6th thing I want to talk to you about is you first. Until I learned to put myself first and dare courageously to actually step into my unique purpose, I was always living by other people's standards. I was people pleasing. I was always in fear. I was always worried. I was always in lack and scarcity. I was always missing something. And that something was true connection, true meaning, true fulfillment, true richness. Because I thought it was selfish to put me first, rather than go, what do I truly want? And how could I truly express myself creatively in the world? How could I live life on my terms? What would happen if I dared to live life on my terms? But I couldn't get to that place until I was present and calm first, which is why I've given this to you in a certain order. So the system that I built to not just treat but cure anxiety and depression for good is not just one thing. If you find the cause, you're going to get relief and understanding, which is powerful. If you take natural remedies, you're going to feel some kind of physical relief for sure. A little bit better, somewhat better. If you combine the natural remedies with diet and the physical movement that I recommend and the cleanse, you're going to feel a ton better. The symptoms will have disappeared. If you start to build a practice of inner peace on a daily basis, it only needs to take 20 minutes on a daily basis. That will carry out of your day and into the world. It will come into the way that you treat yourself, you treat others, and the relationship that you want with yourself, which is all that really matters. Build on kindness and compassion and true connection to yourself, knowing who you really are beyond what you do or what you think. That is a natural side effect. And then from there, having the courage to be yourself, to actually step to create a life of meaning and purpose. So inside my program, there's a reason it goes in that order. And if you want to do a deep dive and you want to not just treat, but cure it for good, this is how we do it. And I'm telling you because I've tried every modality known to mankind, every medication, I have trained more than 50 therapists and I've worked alongside more than 100. I've seen every framework that's out there. And I've handpicked out of all those different therapists and their genius and put it all like a puzzle into an order that you can follow step by step. So if you're ready for a deep dive, if you work with me, it is a deep dive. We do this quickly. It is fun. It's inspiring and it's powerful. Or you can jump in the program and just follow the steps. Start with just focusing on immediate relief. Get your energy back. Get the symptoms under control and start to follow everything that I teach step by step. I can guarantee you it works. But the beauty of taking the reins and doing this yourself, it's an empowered journey and you will never look back. And the filter effect of how many other people this will affect and parts of your life that it will affect, you have no idea. So when we start looking for natural treatment or holistic ways or moving away from the system that I believe is truly there to make money, the psychological framework of how psychology and psychiatry is set up when you study it at university makes sense as a business plan. And there are great psychologists and psychiatrists out there, but the processes and frameworks that they're taught are long. It's designed for you to do weekly sessions and go where exactly? What you need is an empowered approach that teaches you tools that will affect every area of your life and the rest of your life. So most people that are looking for that natural, holistic process, they've already learned that the other way of doing things isn't for them. They've learned that just taking a little pill doesn't fix the problem. So let's just rehash quickly. Know the cause, herbal remedies, what goes in your mouth matters, building that compassionate and kindness relationship with yourself, which you need to be taught how to do. It's not okay to go, okay, I'm going to be kind. That will last like 5 minutes. It is a process that you need to learn. Having a practice for inner peace, inner bliss on a daily basis, just like brushing your teeth, and crafting a life that you design based on what holds meaning to you, and really tapping into how you can live a life with purpose, on purpose, and getting with privilege to be able to step into that every day. So first things first, do the quiz if you haven't done it already. It's going to show you what's going on. Relief kit. If you want relief, go and get the relief kit. Do the 7-day program, get the kit, depending on where you are in the world. We post it to you, and do the full program. If you want to not just treat or deal with, but we want to cure this for good, do the full program and sink your teeth into it. It is an empowered journey. It's actually fun. It's actually inspiring. If you would like my one-on-one attention and support, of course, always go book a call, and we will craft out a 30 to 60-day journey together. I don't do one-off sessions, a 30 to 60-day journey together, because obviously I work with a process. I work step by step in order for a reason. So if you would like my attention, love, support, and all of this crafted out in a personal way for you, then obviously book a call with me. I look forward to talking to you soon or seeing you on the inside of the program. Have an awesome day.